Hello YouTube fam, how y'all doing? It's your Uncle Tim. How you doing, Timsters? How you feeling? First of all, I want to say thank you for coming to this channel. Thank you for all the love and the support. Thank you for watching the videos. And I'm saying thank you for watching Uncle Tim Rants and Reviews, a channel that I do a lot of ranting and a lot less reviews. But today I'm going to do a review, fam. It's not, the stuff from the 80s that I'm going to do a review of. This is from 2003. Fam, you know what? I'm on a kick today. At first, I was on a real American hero kick with G.I. Joe, which is, G.I. Joe is one of the flagship franchises, which we still talking about, Joe, but it was the flagship franchise for like Army and, everything else, imagination and playing with guns and everything like that. Thinking you a soldier and things like that. You know how you play, y'all playing soldiers, you had a little toy machine gun out and, this was back in the 80s where knowing was half the battle, where they gave you a lesson after every cartoon. But see, all of a sudden when G.I. Joe hit 2000, the popularity started waning. The interest started dropping. Because again, around 2000, the cartoons start falling off. Cartoons start going on special networks, whereas you wasn't able to watch cartoons for free too much anymore. So around that time, they came up with a new way, to reintroduce G.I. Joe to people, which was called Valor versus Venom. Now, I know a lot of people have a skepticism about Valor versus Venom because in actuality, it's true. It was a different scope. It was cheaper material, and you can tell they didn't spend a lot of money making it. And they were affordable as all outdoors. The actual figures were $2 a piece at Dollar General and Family Dollar. You found them at those locations all the time, fam. And the thing that really amazed me about that was that they found a way to make profit off of a declining market. They basically changed up the scopes and not made vehicles look like they were extraordinary anymore. Because, G.I. Joe had a tendency of making fantasy-looking vehicles that were priced out of this world back in the day, but, they were really affordable. Fam, we got the G.I. Joe Sky Sweeper. Now, see, this is how you can tell that it's Valor versus Venom, because of how the G.I. Joe is made with the logo, G.I. Joe, the guy with the helmet and the stars and the lines of red, white, and blue going out. That's the thing. Then they got Ace on the one thing about this vehicle, it came with a figure called Sergeant Airborne. Now, I don't have the actual figure itself. The actual toy itself, at one point in time, I had bought an original when I was a manager at a Family Dollar. I bought one from there and I was just really blown away because I was like, man, G.I. Joe is actually trying. This is 2003 by Hasbro. So I was like, man, because G.I. Joe fell off because I'm a whole grown man now. One thing about this one is if you open up the bay doors, you got to slide the tail fins down, open up the bay doors, and if you look, there are two buttons. One here, which is gray, and it's another gray button right here. And if you look up, there are two holes. Each one of them holds a missile. There was one on each wing. I don't know what I actually did with the missiles, but fam, this vehicle was actually cutting edge. You told me that you saved money, and we had something else special. But before we do that, we're going to open the cockpit. The actual cockpit is pretty cool. It fits a 3.75 figure. Now, this is one way that you can prove that Hasbro can save money. Now, see, this vehicle is what? A stealth bomber, stealth fighter, whatever you want to call it. It's not that expensive to make, fam. And I'm serious, it's not. But the thing that I'm looking at is when you look at this figure, this vehicle, that they saved money. It's not like Joe. It's not like what you used to. You like, I'm used to something different. Now, if you look at the back, I mean the front, they're buttons. Shooting cells. Now, there's a laser that sticks out of here that works with all of that to actually make the sound much better. It also can go on this side too. Now, one thing is, this one came out in 2003. They have one for the Rise of Cobra, which is crimson red. I thought it went with the Crimson Guard, but no, it was just to mark the movie. It's made with all the buttons and everything, but the buttons down at the bottom do not make sounds. They do not even move at all. You know, so that's the way they changed it up. On the back, there's a peg. It sticks out, and there's a groove up here for a ship to go. So here go the actual ship that actually goes with it. The wings go out. When I seen this, I was just taken aback. The ingenuity of this and the actual ship. It reminds me of the Cobra Night Raven, but in an affordable manner. It was a way to make G.I. Joe affordable again. Again, remember, the flagship franchise was G.I. Joe. Hasbro's was. You know, they lost the cartoon, just like they lost the cartoon with the Transformers. You know, they had different iterations, but, you know, everybody really loved the G1 Transformers. You know, and kind of like the G2s. But far as with G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero was the one that they based everything off of. But when you hit Valor versus Venom, to me, this was a way, it's a Cobra vehicle. But it's amazing to me how this works. It's amazing how this whole situation plays itself out. Now let me look at something. Fam, I'm not really sure about something. So give me 3 seconds. Let your uncle have a second. Your uncle just making sure that, you know, it's amazing to me how this is actually, I actually thought all this time it was a Joe vehicle, and it's actually a Cobra vehicle. It actually makes sense. But I'm trying to figure out the way they got G.I. Joe on the side. I don't see no Cobra or anything. Maybe this is like a decoy, you know, just to invade Cobra or something like that. But it's very cool. It's very eye-catching. When I, you know, as a whole grown man, I actually seen this, I was like, wow. But the little peg that I showed you on the side, which is here, this goes on there, just like that. You push, and it clicks right in. The landing gear comes down, and trust me, the landing gear is real tight. The rubber on the wheels, still fantastic. They did a good job with the toy. It can sit, you know, and be displayed, or the landing gear can go up and it can just sit down. Fam. The wings also, they retract. Just like that retracts back up. Fam, you can't tell me that Joe couldn't made an affordable toy. You know, G.I. Joe made an affordable toy. I believe this whole market itself is them just selling us wolf tickets. They found a way to make cheaper toys. You still telling us you can't give us cheaper classified vehicles? I understand the vehicles are much bigger. Just imagine how big a Sky Strike is, the Night Raven is right now. Just imagine how big the Terradrome is right now. Just imagine a 6-inch version of that. I wouldn't buy that. It would be too expensive. This is why I say you have to be kind of careful. You know, asking for certain things. They get very costly because it costs a lot to make them. But Hasbro can make a vehicle without all the bells and whistles, you know, for the classified line. And see, you know, that's the thing that I'm looking at. I see a lot of people 3D printing. And I seen this cat 3D print this. you know, much bigger though, but you know, I see where he left off. I seen other people come in and revamp what he did and made it a lot better. Fam, you know what? Know your worth. If you out here producing things like this, making things like this, go all in. Let us know what you got. Let us know what you can do. Fam, at the end of the day, it's your story, it's your life, it's your issues that you are working on. It's your way of making things much better. Man, I applaud all of y'all because, you know, I'm seeing all of y'all work online and all I can do is just clap because, you know, you're doing a fantastic job. But fam, you know, like I said, they made an affordable toy. They made it cheaper for themselves to make more money off of, to profit more off of because their revenue was declining because, again, the toy market basically had died out. With the closing of majority of Toys R Us's, KB Toys, and other places, things start changing. And that's how you gotta look at it. When things start changing, everything changes, fam. You know, this is how you gotta look at it. You know, I appreciate everything that the toy companies do, but when you look at all of this, you gotta understand you control the ship. If you don't buy, they cannot sell. But till later, fam, thanks for watching. Peace out.